What's up everyone, it's Sam from 64 Reels, and as you can see, this setup is a little different because we're going to be doing a Diecast news report today. So today we're going to be reporting on the 21st annual Matchbox Gathering that was just held over the weekend in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So the annual Matchbox Gathering is basically a Hot Wheels convention for Matchbox people. So it includes designers, a dinner with sneak peeks, which is a big part of what we're going to cover. So a lot of influencers from around the industry, such as Langley Group, go, and thankfully he live streamed it, so we're able to get a lot of good information from his live stream and see a bunch of the previews. So shout out to him, and definitely go give his channel the credit that it deserves by checking out his full video and his posts on that. So over the weekend, like I said, they had the event, and during the dinner, they had the slideshow. So the first thing they covered was the 2024 basic line. So these are new models through Matchbox is going to be releasing through the main line in 2024. So we'll just go over a couple of them. I will go through the whole list and then kind of discuss a few just to take a little bit deeper dive into them. So the first 5 or 6 here, they have the 83 Ford Fiesta MK2, the 2022 Infiniti QX80, the Alfa Romeo Tonale, the 2023 Ford Interceptor, which is cool because I know a lot of people really like the police vehicles, and Matchbox has released almost every Ford police vehicle since their Crown Victoria in like 97 or 98, so it's cool to see that still go along with the main line. Next up, we have the Indiana Jones Tuk Tuk, which is the little like 3-wheel vehicle that's used in a lot of Asian markets. We really don't have them here in the United States too much, but it's cool to see a movie tie-in with the Matchbox line because they don't get a ton of branded product like that. They had some, Jurassic Park is probably their big one, some Top Gun, and now Indiana Jones. So that's cool. We're going to be seeing that release as well as the release of the, I think it's an Auburn Speedster in 2023. So we'll see 2 releases for Indiana Jones in the upcoming year. Then they had the 68 Chevy C10. You can't go wrong with the C10. I think it'll be, that'll be a hot one either way. Next up, we have the 2022 Porsche 911 Cabriolet, the 85 Nissan Pathfinder, which will go very nicely with the Nissan. I think it's the hard body pickup that they just released in red, white, and blue. Great casting. The 2024 Mercedes-Benz EQB, and that is the all-electric Mercedes SUV, and it looks awesome in real life. Even if you're not a fan of electric vehicles, it just has a killer look to it. So I'm pumped to see what that one looks like in 1/64 scale. Next up, another very popular one, the 74 Bronco. This is one that I'll tease a little bit later in the slideshow here that I got from the Langley Group. There was a actual prototype of that one, so that'll be cool to see. The 2023, the GR Supra, which should be hot with collectors, and the 2022 Citroen EC4, which is an electric version of the C4 crossover. So next up, let's see what else we have. The 1966 Ducati Scrambler. This is another Indiana Jones tie-in. So this is the 3rd tie-in for Indiana Jones. And then this is also part of a, I will say, a non-car vehicle release because they are coming out with some Skybusters that are also Indiana Jones themed, which is pretty rad too. So they also will be dropping a 63 Mercedes-Benz SLW 113 convertible. And this one should really pump up the old school Matchbox collectors, the 1964 Lincoln Continental, which was one of the original Matchbox Lesney releases in, I think, 63 or 64. So that's cool that they're getting a new version of that back into the main line. I'm extra pumped for that one as well. So next up is the 2022 Opel Astra, which is cool because my wife had a Saturn Astra for a while that we put a Vauxhall Opel grill on. So that's cool to see the new version of that. And then the Radical Motorsport SR8, which is the open cockpit race car, which should look pretty cool. There's a lot of different liveries they could do for that one, so that's pretty cool. So let's see what else we got here. So that was a good sort of the main line. What is that? Maybe 20 or so new cars to the main line, which is awesome because then that'll just build on what was released this year in their past castings too. So it should be a pretty exciting year for 2024 mainline. So next up, we have the 2024 5-packs. Everybody loves a good 5-pack. I do unboxings of 5-packs. 5-packs are awesome. They have great exclusive, and usually they're themed very well. And that theme goes on to 2024, where they're also themed for the full line. So the first up, we have the electric drivers. Another Autobahn Express. They teased a British drivers, which they said the actual name will be the British Motorway 5-pack. Matchbox City Life, Matchbox Construction, which again will go great with any other existing Matchbox construction sets, like those sweet action driver sets you know and love, just like me. The Matchbox JDM, that is a new one and probably going to really open some eyes about the JDM within the Matchbox brand, because Matchbox does release some of the Walmart exclusive that are kind of JDM, but I feel like they kind of take a backseat to the Hot Wheels JDM. So it'll be interesting how the Matchbox JDM is marketed and how it's picked up from resellers and collectors in general. Just overall acceptance with it will be interesting to watch next year. So next up, they have the Blue Highways, which is an all convertible 5-pack. The Matchbox Retro. This is a cool one because it takes the retro exclusive cars from Target and then puts them in a 5-pack. Now, during the dinner, they didn't say if the 5-pack was going to be exclusive to Target. They just said it had the Target exclusive cars in it. So I take that for what you will. We'll see if it actually shows up in stores outside of Target. Next up, the Coffee Cruisers, and then we have the Matchbox Truck. So the slideshow, he was having a little bit of a hiccup with it, so he lamely uploaded like a shorter version, which had these screenshots in it. So there you can see the electric drivers, the Autobahn Express, the British, I think it says roadways. I don't know. It's kind of hard to see. I will link in the description to his profile. I think on Instagram had better photos. I didn't want to steal them all. I wanted to give him some credit. So go check his page out. But we'll kind of keep going through these here. So we have those 5-packs. There you can see the construction as well. And then you have the JDM one right there farthest on the left. And then it just kind of continues as you can see there. So the 5-packs are looking pretty solid. They have a lot of the decos already like figured all the colors of the car. So it looks ready to go, which is exciting as well. So speaking of multi-packs, we have the 2024 9-packs. Now, what I did is I took each of the exclusive or the 9-packs and then put what exclusive car comes with them. So another thing to note about the 9-packs, if you've noticed this, Hot Wheels has taken their 9-packs and moved it to an 8-pack. And Matchbox will be doing the same thing. So from January to June of 2024, Matchbox will be releasing 9-packs, and then from July to December, they will be 8-packs, which is, I think, just kind of like the industry standard now. I think just because of cost cutting, they're moving it down to an 8-pack. So at least until June of next year, we'll be able to buy those 9-packs, but then it's going to move until the 8-pack. So the 9-packs or 8-packs are as follows. So the City with the Audi e-tron wagon exclusive, the Highway with the 63 Plymouth Savoy. I love that casting, cannot get enough of that one. The Adventures pack with the Matchbox self-driving bus. That one hasn't been picked up. That's kind of a peg warmer in like my area. I don't mind the casting, but I don't need 20 versions of it. Just a couple will do for like my Action Drivers town. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of livery they put that in. Another City release, the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT63. Awesome casting. We'll take another one of those as well. Highway, the International Ambulance. I feel like any type of service vehicle like an ambulance, a police car, or fire truck always does pretty well. So that one should be pretty cool too. A City, the 1976 Eldorado, which has kind of been a hard casting to hunt down. I know was in the Walmart exclusive set, the Caddy set, like the Cadillac set what was that, last year maybe? I think I found a single one. They were very hard to find in our area. So next up, the Adventure with the Nissan Xterra, Highway with the 76 Golf GTI, the City with the Honda Insight, which the electric vehicle or the hybrid makes sense with the City, and then the Highway is the Morris Minor. So here is a small preview of those. Like I said, they're a little bit hard to see, but you can see each one, the e-tron, the Plymouth, there you can see the little city bus, the Mercedes-Benz. That one hasn't been released yet. Like they don't have the paint and the tampos ready for that one. So that one, the Volkswagen, and the Morris. I think the Cadillac does not have a color on it, as you can see up on that graphic. So really good set of 9-packs. I think they'll do pretty well. I'm interested in a lot of them, so I'll be interested. Let me know in the comments below if you guys are interested in 9-pack exclusives, if you often buy those 9-packs for the exclusive car, or if you just pass because they're too expensive. So next up, very exciting, the moving parts, which I personally think is one of Matchbox's best lines. I prefer them over the collector line. They're a little bit cheaper, first off, and I think the details rival the collector line, just minus the real riders. So in my opinion, this is a hot line to watch. So the new castings for 2024 include the 69 Triumph Spitfire, which is cool, convertible, old school, a 2022 Opel Maka, which I believe is the Buick Encore Encore? I think it's the Encore. In the United States, it's very similar to like a GM rebadged vehicle. 1995 Chevy C10, which is interesting because we've seen a C10 come out in the RLC. We've also seen brands like M2 and even Greenlight start to drop those same era Chevy trucks. So it'll be interesting to see how Matchboxes lines up with the other ones already on the market. The 2022 RS6 Avant Wagon, I think that one is going to be super popular. It's pretty popular in Hot Wheels. It's been a super treasure hunt before, so that'll be cool to see. Another big crossover with Hollywood, the Ford Anglia, which is the Harry Potter car. Now, myself, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. My wife is a huge Harry Potter fan, so I'm familiar with the car. I think that one will probably do pretty well, just like the Mr. Bean Mini Cooper did a couple years ago. I think that one will probably be easy to spot because of the special cards that they usually put on those. Like even the Indiana Jones, you can tell like a little bit of the card art is different. So that should be a very hot casting in 2024 and moving parts, which is cool. Ford Focus RS, another good casting. Jaguar I-Pace SUV. The 78 Ford Bronco, which is also interesting because right now there is not another 78 Ford Bronco on the market. There are 78 Ford pickup trucks, monster trucks, but there is not a Bronco, which is cool to see. I'm especially looking forward to that one as well. And then we have the extremely long name Porsche Taycan GTS Sport Turismo, which is the wagon, in my opinion, one of the best looking Taycans. I think the Taycan is a good looking car in general, so I'm super pumped about that casting. So next up, we have the 23 Prius Prime, which people seem to be really hype on the Prius right now. The redesign on that does look pretty good. I think that will be a hot casting, especially if people are trying to customize it. I think that'll sell pretty well too. The 74 BMW CSL, another great casting. The Land Rover Series 2 FC Camper, which is the preview was awesome. The little picture of it, they didn't have the casting, but they had it in real life. Just an excellent looking casting. Next up, the 70 AMC Javelin, the 22 Alfa Romeo Stelvio, a Porsche 356 Coupe, which is cool because Matchbox does pretty good with any type of Porsche, like their collector pink, like Rad Era Porsche they just released, sold out very quickly. The little 550 Spider, very well done. So that'll be cool to see what they do with the 356 Coupe. The BMW iX SUV, an awesome 1992 Buick Roadmaster. I formerly co-owned a Buick Roadmaster with someone. Awesome cars in real life. Ours was not so awesome, but they're great looking cars, and I'm super pumped that they are making that in 1/64 scale. First version of that car in, it might be any scale. It might exist in 1/43, but I don't really know. So next up we have the Nissan Townstar, the Corvair Rampside pickup, which is an awesome vintage Chevy truck, and then I'm going to try to do this name justice, Bizzarini 5300 GT Corsa Revival, which is that old school race car, which is the revival version. So I think it's the remake, but it looks very similar. So we should have really good luck with that casting. It should just look incredible. So here are some of the previews. So there you can see a bunch of the cars in the green and blue. They used to call it Barbie, which is what you can see some of the parts in, like the hood on the Mini Cooper, and then the hood on, I think it's the Bizzarini actually in the middle. It has that Barbie, that pink, because all these are prototypes. So these were shown actually at the dinner. They pulled a cover off, and then they kind of showed so anyone who was at the dinner could check them out. But there we see the Bronco in the middle, the GR Supra at the bottom. There's just a lot of cars. You can take time to pause it, or you can visit the Langley group because him and David J. Tilley on Instagram took these photos at the dinner. So props to him for sharing. And then check out his Instagram because he has better pictures of the individual castings as well. So next up we go to another preview page. It just has even more cars. So there we can see the C10, we can see the Ducati, we can see the Tuk-Tuk, we can see a lot of different cars. And to me, everything looks good so far. I'm not like, sometimes Hot Wheels will release a casting or Matchbox, and I'm like, that casting doesn't look as good or just doesn't look refined. Just going over this and preparing this news release, the video, like it just, all of them seem to be scaled very well. They've done a really good job overall with the shaping of the castings. I'm just very impressed with what Matchbox has in store for 2024. So next up, the 2024 theme assortment. So the theme assortments are the cars that are like at Target and Walmart, such as like the Rally line or trucks, or like we were saying before, the Cadillac line, So those are going to be continuing for 2024 as well. They have the Matchbox County Rescue, which is a 6-car set. The Mini OEM, which I can't remember who was even speaking at the Matchbox thing. I'm totally blanking on it. But he said they're big into doing the minis or the OEM stuff, which is like the stock non-race car, just the nice stock castings, which that line will be made of. The Off-Road Rally 2, which is a continuation of the Off-Road Rally 1 that was at Walmart recently. And then American Convertibles, they really seem to be doing a lot with convertibles this season. So next up, the Target Red cars will continue. Those were new for 2023, the red versions of certain Matchbox castings. Hot Wheels has been doing that for several years now, so Matchbox is now on board with it. So there will be 6 new releases of those as well. So one of my favorite lines, the Real Working Rigs line. Now, good news is the line is continuing. The bad news is they only previewed a single new casting for the line, which is a bit of a bummer. So hopefully they're just saving some, or they have some in the works that maybe like they can't say with the licensing yet, but so far it's not looking good for new castings. But they do have a lot of new decos, like they have a lot of new paint jobs, a lot of new themes. There is one new casting, and it is the Man City bust with opening doors, which is like, I think it's a European casting because I'm not familiar with it. The picture, I tried to look it up. I don't think it's one in the United States. But like I said, there's not a lot of tooling so far. So hopefully we will get some more castings in that line. But so far, this is what we have. So here's the thing they teased. There is mix A, B, C, and D. So you'll see a lot of castings that have already been released, really all of them except for that one, the top one on the third row. And we do have a TBD one right under that. So I'm hoping that will be a new one as well. And another exciting thing about this is the GM Bright Drop fan is making a comeback. It's making another release. That has been extremely hard to find, especially because I heard there's some possible licensing issue or release issues with it. So it's cool to see that coming back, and it does look like the exact livery with the green plug, the same paint job. So that'll be cool that we get a second chance at that. But I really hope this line gets extended and they put more new castings because it is just an excellent line. So another line that I'm super pumped about, the 2024 SKYBUSTERS line. So there will be 4 new tools so far. I couldn't really see exactly which ones they are, but the guy speaking did say it's 2 Airbuses, a Indiana Jones plane, and something else. So it's cool. Like I said before, we're getting 3 castings. We're getting the Tuk Tuk, the Auburn Speedster, and the Ducati in the Indiana Jones, and now we're getting a SKYBUSTERS, an additional SKYBUSTERS, because there's one coming out this year as well. So here is the screen that they shared. It is a little blurry and hard to read, so I kind of take it with a grain of salt because I can't really give you any more information on that. But on the right side, we can see the Indiana Jones little mark below the plane, so we know that is the Indiana Jones plane. Then they gave the full preview of the SKYBUSTERS line. This is a little hard to see because it's on a PowerPoint on a computer that I was watching, like screenshot, so it's like triple bad. But what the takeaways are, a lot of color in this one and a lot of different planes. And you'll notice too, for fans of the Top Gun line, there does seem to be a few Top Gun castings, namely the F-18 Hornet or FA-18 Hornet at the very bottom, which is the Maverick paint job, and it looks to keep that Maverick paint job. So we could be seeing more Top Gun releases in 2024, and I'm really hoping so because that line has been incredible, and it's even been more incredibly hard to find. So I know I have not seen a plane from that release in quite some time. Even the new ones that drop, I usually have to get them off eBay because they've been very hard to find. So moving on, the collectors. So the collectors line is their most premium retail line. It is the metal body rubber tires. They're like $4.99 or $5.99 now. They're getting up there in price, but we got some previews of some new tools for 2023, so it's the second half of this year, supposedly. Those 6 toolings are the 79 Toyota Celica, 2022 Subaru BRZ, the 1970 Oldsmobile Cutlass, the 2023 Mercedes EQS, that is the electric sedan version of the EQB SUV. The 71 Mazda Savannah RX-3 is, I believe, what the presentation said, but it's really hard to read. And then the 73-ish Aston Martin V8 Vantage, which is an awesome car. I'm so pumped that they're doing that because that's the most affordable version of that car on the market. Johnny Lightning has one. I think Kyosho has one. A couple companies have one, but it'll be cool to see that here on the peg. So 2024, they also dropped collector previews for those, and they are a 56 Ford truck. Again, I'm questioning these because they were very hard to see and they did not announce them. So if you know what they actually read as, let me know in the comments so I can like update that in another video. So the 56 Ford truck, it looks like a Mitsubishi 3000 GT, the new Nissan Z, the Bugatti Bolide, I think is how you say that, and then the last one I can't really make out. So it is the SUV in the center. It almost looks like the Toyota 4Runner, but I don't think the front is shaped that way. So let me know in the comments what you think that fifth vehicle there is, that dark SUV in the center, what car that is, because I don't know. So unfortunately, that was the end of the slideshow, but we didn't get any Action Drivers previews. Now, also take that with a grain of salt because they usually don't do any Action Drivers previews, play sets, or anything in these presentations. But that being my favorite Matchbox line, I was really hoping to get a preview or even a 5-pack related or some kind of SKYBUSTERS related Action Driver, something, nothing. So we have no previews of those just yet, but hopefully they will be dropping another set of 3 to 4 Action Drivers for the second half of 2023 because I'm really crossing my fingers for that. So that was a recap of the whole 2023 Matchbox Gathering convention in New Mexico. Let me know what you think of the upcoming year. If you saw castings you really want to buy, if you were like, man, I don't really care, I'll buy something else. Overall, I think the new castings, the SKYBUSTERS look great. The moving parts look excellent. So as a Matchbox Hot Wheels collector in general, I think it's looking good. I think I'm excited about a lot of the castings that they have in store. I think they did a good job on the preview. The slideshow wasn't the best. Like, they had some technical difficulties overall, but in general, I think that Matchbox is still going strong with some of the most realistic, affordable castings on the market. So, especially in that mainline $1 to $2 range, it's hard to beat the realism of some of the Matchbox castings. So, let me know what you think of this in the comments. Your kind of vision for the 2024 year in general with Diecast, what you think about this, what you think about the Hot Wheels and other castings that have been previewed throughout the year, because there's really a lot coming. It's so hard to keep up as a collector, but I'm going to try to do these update shows at least once a week to try to keep everyone update to what's going on with the different brands, whether it be Hot Wheels, Matchbox, Mini GT, Greenlight, whatever. I'm going to be trying to doing a weekly update on what is being released and what has been teased. So I really appreciate you watching. This is Sam 64 Wheels. Like and subscribe as always, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.